You have any idea what I'm talking about, Howard?
No, sir.
Well, maybe you will someday. That's all for now, son. Thanks.
I've seen what you can do to a jury. Twist and tangle them. Nobody's forgotten the Endicott publishing case when you made that juror believe that the obscenity was in their own mind and not on the printed page. It was immoral what you did to that jury, tricking them. Judgment by confusion. You think you can get away with that here?
I'm not trying to get away with anything. I'm just trying to stop the bigots from dumping a load of medieval nonsense into the American Constitution.
Your Honor.
This is not a federal court.
Well, you gotta stop them somewhere.
Your Honor, it's obvious what he's trying to do. He's trying to make us forget about the lawbreaker and put the law on trial. Well, we'll have the answer for you in our next witness. Call Miss Rachel Brown to the stand.
Will Miss Rachel Brown come forward, please?
Do you know about this?
He didn't, but we should have. Great, what did you tell him? Sit down, Samson. You're about to get a haircut.
Rachel, you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Oh. Now, my dear, I just want you to repeat some of the things you told me last night.
Please, Mr. Brady.
Well, Rachel, you simply wanted the people here to understand, didn't you, my dear?
Yes?
Well, then just answer my questions. Now, you are an old friend of the defendant, Bertram Cates.
We're engaged to be married.
Mr. Cates, a member of the spiritual community to which you belong.
Objection. What's all this chatter about spiritual community? The prosecution wants to know if they went to the same church. Why doesn't he ask that?
Objection overruled. I will answer the question, please.
I did answer it, didn't I?
Oh.
What was the question?
Do you and Mr. Cates attend the same church?
Yes, we did.
Do you now?
No.
Did Mr. Cates leave the church?
No, not really. Not the spirit of it.
But the body of it, right? Mr. Cates left the church that you and he once attended together.
Yes.
Why?
It was because of what happened to the little Stebbins boy.
Will you tell us about that, please?
It was 2 summers ago.
Oh.
The boy was 11 years old. He was one of Bert's students. He lived right next door, and Tommy Stebbins used to come over to the boarding house and look through Bert's microscope. Bert said the boy had a quick mind. He might even be a scientist when he grew up.
Yes?
Well, he went to the river with the other boys and went swimming. He got a cramp and he drowned. Oh, Bert felt awful about it.
Go on.
Well, at the funeral, Pa preached that Tommy didn't die in a state of grace because his father wouldn't allow him to be baptized.
Tell him what your father really said. That Tommy's soul was damned, writhing in hellfire. Can't you, sinner? Religion's supposed to comfort people, isn't it? Not frighten them, do you?
Well, how order be? Now sit down, Bert.
Don't you see? Bert thought it wasn't fair that a little child couldn't go to heaven. It wasn't God he abandoned, only the church.
So it is true, then, that because of what happened to the Stebbins boy, Bertram Cates left the church. You have said nothing wrong, Rachel. We are merely beginning to gain an insight in some of the experiences that will sometimes lead a young man astray.
Objection! Whether my client went astray is a matter of interpretation. Strike that from the record.
Objection sustained. The jury is directed to disregard the remarks of counsel.
Very well. Now, my dear, will you please tell the jury some more of Mr. Cates' opinions on the subject of religion? Objection!
Sorry.
Will you please call some more of Mr. Cates' opinions on the subject of religion?
Objection! Line.
Hearsay testimony.
Is that the hearsay one? Okay, I'm one behind. No, I'm not. Objection! Hearsay testimony is not admissible.
The court sees no objection to this line of questioning. Proceed, Colonel Brady.
Rachel, will you please, the line, sorry.
Will you merely repeat?
Will you merely repeat some of the conversations you had with the defendant?
Rachel, you can't. The things I said to you were questions. Questions you asked your own heart. If you say them out loud, he'll make them sound like answers.
I can't.
You won't hurt him, Rachel. This is for his own good now. Speak up.
Mr. Brady, I confided in you.
We are here to serve the truth, Rachel. Only the truth.
I can't remember.
Rachel, you are testifying under oath, and it's unlawful to withhold pertinent information.
Bert was just talking about some of the things he'd read.
Were you shocked when he told you these things? Tell the court your innermost feelings when Bertram Kate said to you, God did not create man, man created God.
Objection!
Bert didn't say that. He said that man created a vengeful God out of his own bigotry, and the devil out of his own hell.
But what about when he was wondering what was on the other side of the moon? Did he ever mention the possibility of heaven? Did he ever mention that? Or did he just say there was nothing but a world of stars and moons and galaxies and universal dust? Come on, tell us some more. What about his thoughts on the state of holy matrimony? Did he compare that with the breeding of the animals? Come on. This is for the whole good, Rachel. No, it's not. Oh, I'm sorry.
You want to help him?
You want to help him, don't you, Rachel? You want the good people of this town to see what happened to his brain so they can put it back to his senses? Come on, tell us! Tell us! Tell us! Tell us! Under the circumstances, I think the witness should be excused.
Colonel, do you have any objection to excusing the witness from cross-examination, subject to later recall?
Your Honor, the defense has to have an opportunity to challenge the words that the prosecutor put into the witness's mouth.
Don't play, let her go.
Could we have a moment, Your Honor? You want every word that he just put into her mouth to go straight into the record?
It's not that important.
Not that. He just pulled your ball like a plucked chicken.
Please do as I say. You've got to.
I've got to what? Send you to jail?
Let her go.
You all-American idiot. He just handed your head to him on a silver platter. You can't let her get away with that.
Derek, you stay out of this. It's none of your business.
Don't tie my hands, son.
Let her go, or I'll change my plea to guilt.
No question.
For the time being, the witness will be excused.
I'll take you home.
Does the prosecution have any further witnesses?
Not at the present time, Your Honor. The prosecution rests.
Okay, we will proceed with the case for the defense. Colonel Drummond.
Your Honor, the defense wishes to call Dr. James P. Keller to the stand. Chair of the Department of Zoology, University of Chicago.
Objection.
On what grounds?
I wish to inquire what possible relevance the testimony of a zoology professor would have on this trial.
Oh, well, it has every relevance. My client is on trial for teaching evolution. Any testimony relating to his alleged infringement of the law has to be admitted.
Irrelevant, immaterial, inadmissible.
Why? If Bertram Kate was accused of murder, would it be irrelevant to have expert witnesses examine the weapon? Would you rule out any testimony that the so-called murder weapon is incapable of firing a bullet?
I failed to grasp the learned accounts' meaning.
Your Honor. The defense wishes to place Dr. Keller on the stand to explain to the gentlemen of the jury exactly what evolutionary theory is. How can they pass judgment if they don't know what it's about?
I hold that the very law we are here to enforce excludes such testimony. The good people of this state have made it perfectly clear that they do not want this zoological hogwash slobbered around the schoolrooms. I refuse to allow these agnostic scientists to use this this courthouse as a platform from which they can shout their heresies into the headlines.
Colonel Drummond, the court rules that zoology is irrelevant to this case.